Okay, so continuing on with our if functions, I'd like to talk about how to use a function called SUMIF. So here I have a list of people's information as well as the salary information on the end and what city they're from. Now I mentioned those two columns specifically as that's what we're going to use in our example. Because what the SUMIF function does is it will add up a range of numbers based on a set of criteria. And whether that criteria is based on the same column or not is up to you, but we're going to separate it just to use the full kind of power of the SUMIF function. So what I've created here down along the bottom is I've created a little drop down box which has a list of the names of my cities. If you want more information about how to do that, that's on the data tab and it's under data validation. You can also look up our other videos here on how to actually insert that and create that. So what I want is when I choose a particular city, let's just say I picked Vancouver, I would like it to then look at every record that the person is from Vancouver and add up the salary. So to do that, I need the SUMIF function. So I'm going to put that down in this cell. And again, just like all of our other ones, I'm going to start with an equals and type SUMIF open bracket. So again, if we're not too familiar with this function, once you've typed that out there, you can click that insert function button. Make sure you do have the open bracket there. If you click that insert function button, it's going to pop up help on what the range is, what the criteria is, what the sum range is. And so it will explain each of those pieces if you needed a little bit more detailed explanation. I'm going to take you through this manually, so I'm just going to cancel that. I'm going to type SUMIF open bracket. And the first thing is the range. Now, this is either the range of numbers that you want to add up, assuming that's the same range you're going to put the criteria in. For example, if I wanted to add up this salary, only where the salaries were larger than 50,000, well, that's going to be my range. In this case, however, I'm doing a comparison on city. So the range is the range in which you're going to set the criteria. So the range for this first one is that city column, C2 to C14. Then I'm going to put in a comma. The criteria. So what is going to determine where it adds up? Well, that's the name of the city, and I'm going to be selecting that here in B16. So my criteria will be in cell B16. However, one other thing I'd like you to keep in mind here is that you could type in a direct value here. So I could say Vancouver, or I could say London, or whatever it might be. The only thing with that is not very interchangeable. I can't really see all the differences there. So we're going to put in that cell. There it is. After that, we're going to add in a comma. And the last piece, which is optional because it does display in square brackets here, is the sum range. And that's the range of numbers that I want to add up based on that criteria. And like I said, if you omit this, it will just use whatever you put in that range section. In this case, I wanted to add up the salary column, so I'm going to put in that range, which is G2 to G14. I'm then going to close the bracket, hit enter, and there you have it. Now the beauty of using this drop down here in conjunction with this SUMIF is that I can change the criteria really easily. So now I want to know the total for New York. I choose New York, there's the new total. Maybe I want to know the total for London. I choose London, there's the London total. So there you have it. That is how you can utilize the SUMIF function.